Hey everyone, welcome to the Foreign Link Up. This is, where we touch base with Trinis living around the world. They're always doing something really awesome because we Trinis are awesome. So, basically that's what it is. Primarily, it's a video series, a live video series. So we are live here in Trinidad. We're also live in Canada. My name is Alex Assing, and my guest today is none other than art director, solopreneur, longtime friend of mine,
Yep.
and she's a Trini Canadian. Yeah, her name is Simone Vieira St Aimée. So, Simone, welcome to the Foreign Link Up. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Hi. Thanks for having me again. Again.
Again, yes,
Not the first time.
we're no strangers to the screen sharing thing. So
No, no,
it's
no.
always a pleasure to have you on. It's always amazing because there's no shortage of topics. When we start to talk, it
Yep.
just goes on forever, and that's a good thing. I guess fellow creatives as well, growing up
Exactly.
in Trinidad and sort of having similar bloodlines as well. So I guess that makes for a nice mix of everything awesome.
No, exactly. I know. You and I get on the phone and we can stay on for like a couple of hours easy. So,
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, so Simone, are you hearing me
yep.
clearly? Because I just wanted to make sure that we're getting a nice signal.
Yep.
I know,
Yeah,
I
I
know,
can hear.
it
I can
seems to be
hear.
streaming well, so everything's a go. All right, awesome. So just want to let everyone know that we're streaming on my Facebook timeline. That's Alex Assing. We're also on my YouTube channel of the same name, and in a moment I'm going to share the live on the Foreign Link Up Facebook page. Right, so that's the Foreign Link Up, and you can give it some love, like, share it around, and follow us because we're looking forward to doing many of these link ups, every week. So it's a pleasure to have you, Simone, to start things off for
Thank you.
season two. I'm calling it episode 1 of the Foreign Link Up. So I guess my first question would be, how are you feeling? Because I know that you were under the weather for the past week or so. I was wondering, would Simone be able to make it on my show tonight? And I'm so glad that, I mean, you don't look like, someone who's recovering and
Okay.
all. You always look so bubbly and full of life. So that's
Okay,
a
so
plus for you.
let me make this clear. First of all, I did not look like this morning. The
Okay.
face has been beaten. The leave-in conditioner is in the hair. I have tea, I have water, and I have halls just
Okay.
for you,
Okay.
Alex.
Great. Great.
Just
You
for
know
you.
what?
And normally, I'm not
You're
this
going to pull
husky.
through.
I'm not this husky, but if you think it sounds good, then it's good. But it's a little, yeah. I
I, I, I
yeah.
think it's quite hot. It's sounding
Oh,
really
oh,
good,
well, thank you.
so that's a good sound for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But no, no, I'm doing a lot better. It has been a long flu-ridden week, as you know. Um,
Yes.
but no, today was the first day I actually felt better. It was the first day I actually stepped outside in a long time. So
Great.
good. So
Well,
thank you.
what's the weather like? You're welcome. What's the weather like across there in Toronto?
I mean, look, it's February in Canada. It's like funny. I asked my husband this morning when we were heading out. I'm like, "What's the weather like today?" He's like, "Simone, it's February in Canada. What do you what?" But no, it's actually starting to snowstorm outside.
Yeah. Oh
so
my gosh.
he had to run to the grocery, get back in early. Um, I mean, it's kind of normal cold. It's not crazy cold. Like we have versions of cold, right? It's
Yes.
it's uh it's a normal cold. The only problem is with the snowstorm comes shoveling and kind of locked in the house more and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So yeah. So
I don't know how you make out because my sister, she's in Maryland, and I know that
oh
it's a
yeah.
lot colder in Canada, right? But I can't, I don't think I can live in a temperate climate, a country that has a temperate climate. Maybe if I visit, other times of the year, but when it comes to winter, I'm not a winter person at all, man. I
You
don't
know
know how
what?
you make out.
It's always funny when people say that. And first of all, I think climate. I mean, I think climate is a mindset. When I was coming here, I was a teenager, and I told myself if 33 million people can deal with the winter,
Right.
I should figure it out. One of
Okay.
the other things that I know is that I see here how people deal with the heat. They don't deal well with the heat here. So I giggle all the time because I'm like, heat is not an ideal. When we get hit with the heat, Canadians lose their minds, right? Like they love it, but then they're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And if we don't have air
Okay.
conditioning,
Okay.
right? Canadians don't come for me, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, you.
Yes. Yes.
And when I go to Trinidad now, I can't function.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
really like I'm not a heat girl. Like I'm not a heat girl. Like I'm not. It's a little. I spend time in the one air conditioned room in my mom's house. I'm not kidding.
Right.
So
So
it's funny,
even though
but
you were born in the tropics, you're born in the Caribbean, you're accustomed
yeah, yeah.
growing up with all that heat, but your body has acclimatized now that you've been living in Canada for so long. So you're sort of like I guess adapting to it and forgetting
Well,
like
but
yeah.
I think you have to, and like my thing is that I chose to come here. Like I would, so you have to adapt. There was no way I could have lived here this long and as how well I've lived to live. I'm not going to live miserably. This
Right.
is an incredible country,
That
and
makes sense.
I don't look at the cold as a downfall. As a matter of fact, I have to say, fall's fashion is like I love layering. And when I was in Trinidad, I wore boots and like made jackets and stuff. So sometimes I think like maybe I was born for a temperate country
Okay.
because I
Okay.
wanted that kind of fashion.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean, it wasn't really around,
But
but
you
you
have
know,
to
here
find the
there's
right
trees.
climate to place it in.
Well, look at you. You're sitting there in a hoodie.
I know. Well, I'm in my air conditioned office, so
Okay,
I'm good.
but do you know if you show a Canadian that and they're looking at this going like, he's a Trinidadian, why is he in a hoodie? They don't need to wear
Okay, okay,
hoodies.
okay. No, maybe
Right? So it's going to be the
I should have worn my flower shirt, right? Perhaps,
well, no, but
with
you
my
need
straw
like
hat and my Bermuda shorts.
you need like a I don't know I only know the politically incorrect word for a vest. Okay, sorry, I won't say it. You need like a vest.
I got okay, okay, okay. I know what you mean.
There's a
You know?
politically incorrect word for
Oh,
it. I just won't say it.
you mean the life weeters? Okay, I got it. I got
Yes, yes,
it.
yes. You know what I'm talking about. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
talking about. So I won't
Oh
say
my
that.
goodness. Yeah, listen. I mean, it's always amazing when I chat with you for many reasons. We go way back. I don't think people realize we have known each other for over 40 years. I was checking it last night. I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting old.
Yeah, probably
Wow,
about we
it's
were
been a really long
teenagers.
time.
We were teenagers hanging out on the block.
Yeah,
That's what we were, teenagers hanging out
literally.
on the block. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'll tell everyone, all of viewers right now. Listen, ever since I've known Simone, she's always been really artistic, always into her art, painting on jeans. She painted one of my jeans.
You were
One
my
of my,
first client. Remember,
yeah, right.
you were my
And
first client. Yeah,
it
I was
was
14.
amazing. And I could not believe the level of artistic talent. I said, how does she do this, And you did it so effortlessly. And the passion was always there. So I guess from then to now, it's only natural progression. I think, that's why you are where you are today, an art director. And you started your own brand. So I mean, there's so much we can
I
talk
know.
about, in terms of how you were able to, or why you decided, listen, I got to start my own brand, or if it's like, I knew I was going to do this, so might as well. And you chose, of course, fashion with accessories, so it's clothing and accessories. And I love the brand. It's called Dark, Brown, and Bright. And I always said I will wait until we're actually live
So,
on my
yeah.
foreign link up to ask you why Dark, Brown, and Bright.
Okay, so there's a good. I only did, and I should do more because every time I tell the story, people think it's cute. But um, so I'll tell you after why I started the brand. But the name, when I was looking for a name, because listen, when you get inside this brain, the Simone brain, it gets
Yes.
complicated, and I
Yes.
do
Yeah.
this
Oh,
all the
yes.
time. And I looked for a name forever, and then I remembered something that. So I have three daughters, and I remember what one of my daughters said to me once, and I'm like, oh my god, maybe that would make a good name. Like it doesn't speak to the business, it doesn't speak to like I paint, like I do a T-shirt, but it kind of speaks to all of us. So one day my daughter was like, I don't know, maybe like 6 years old, was sitting at the table, and of course she's drawing, and just like literally, we're not even talking about anything, and she looks up and she goes, "Mummy," you could tell she was pondering. She goes,
Yes.
"Mummy, Daddy is dark, we are brown, and you are bright."
Oh, you're bright. Kids say the darndest things, don't they?
Can I just tell you, I had a minute.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
was like, I know what she was trying to say, but she didn't know what I was. So in her
Yeah.
eyes, she was about to. She called
Right.
me bright, and I have to say, my trininess came back at that
Yeah.
moment
Yes.
because being bright in like I know she meant it as a color thing, but
Yes. Yes. Yes.
immediately I went to, growing up they say the child bright, right?
Yes.
I went
Yes.
to
Yes. Yes. Yes.
bright meaning smart,
Right.
bright meaning a bright ray of sunshine,
Yeah. Yeah.
bright meaning I guess lighter as she meant
A
it,
lighter shade of skin. Yeah. Yeah.
right? But it's funny, and I know that's what she meant, but I went to like bright nice or bright smart, because growing up, when you grow up artsy, you are labeled as artsy. You're often never labeled smart.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can be artsy and smart. That's not a combination that exists in nature.
Okay.
So you end up being. So growing up, I was talented. That is
Right.
what I owned. I owned talent, not necessarily smarts. So when she said it, I thought it was and then I forgot about it until many years later. I was coming thinking of the business, and I'm like, oh, I love that name. I thought it was different. I did a search. It didn't exist, and
Right.
it represents my own little family.
That was meant for you. I love it.
Yep. So that's it.
You have a bright little daughter. You have three of them, but two are twins, right?
Yeah. So I have an older one,
Yes.
and the two younger ones are identical twins. So the
Yes.
one who came up with it is twin A.
Is sorry.
They know their
Oh,
they know
twin
their
A, right?
spot.
Twin A. Okay. All
There's
right.
twin A. No, they're literally labeled like that when they were born.
Oh,
You have
okay.
twin
Okay.
A and twin B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they know their birth order and they stick to it.
Yes. Twin A. Very, very
Well, listen,
awesome.
you gotta know where you are in the scheme of the
Yes.
household, right?
Yes, exactly. Listen, I have a 4-year-old, and I have to actually I'm so careful, when we go out, because at that age, everything that comes into their head and into their head, they're just gonna let it come out, right? So whatever they're
Mhm.
thinking, you're gonna know. And that
Yes.
is a big deal, because when we go out, I mean, he wants to tell everybody everything. I'm like, no, no, you can't talk to that person. That's a stranger. You can't talk. I might see a friend of mine in the mall, for example. I'm like, what are you doing? And he wants to talk to that person. I'm like, okay, that's a stranger. So I have to try to explain to him what a stranger is and who's a friend, right?
Yeah, I know.
But it's the most challenging thing ever.
It is not
But
always easy.
no, no, it's not. It's not. And then he would say something like, he would see one of the neighbors, right? And the neighbor's standing right there. And he's, Daddy, is that a stranger? Is that a bad man? Or is that a good man? I'm like, well, you know, I'm on the spot here.
Yeah.
Well, I, he's someone I know.
Meanwhile,
Let's just go inside. Yeah.
it could be a shitty neighbor, but you can't
Yeah.
actually say that. You're like, no, he's wonderful.
No, I know. So he really puts me on the spot a lot, but he keeps me on my toes, man. So
Yep.
yeah, that
I've
happens.
been
I know
I,
what,
I've
what kids see.
I've been there.
I want to let everyone know that we're being interactive. We're getting interactive as well. So if you want to, post up a comment, if you want to ask a question, because Simone's a very good person to consult with if you want to get into art, or you're artistic in any way, or even if you want to start your own brand. Okay. Now, last night we were chatting, and
Hmm.
the word solopreneur came up, and that
Yes.
stuck, because I was thinking, solopreneur. Now, I know what's an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
But a solopreneur makes so much sense, because we would actually refer to that Trinidad, and I think in many parts of the world, as a sole trader, right? But
But
it's
I have never
more or
heard
less the
that.
same thing.
I don't know what that is. So I mean, obviously, I can only speak. I don't even know if it's a U.S. term, but I'm assuming it's a North American term. I know a term, and last night you were like, I've never heard that. So
Yeah,
that's a big
exactly.
thing over here. To be a solopreneur is a big thing. Like there is seminars for it, and I also told you too. They have extended it to because I'm also a mompreneur,
A
right? So
mompreneur.
solo, yeah, so you could be a mompreneur, and there's groups that support that. But there's
Yes.
also the whole solopreneur thing, because so many people, and I think it got a lot bigger during COVID, right? When people had to pivot and do a business, or they lost their job, or now they're working from home, so they got a side gig, and that's I don't know if that's where it came from, but I do know it's it's a thing. So feel free to use it. I don't think it's
Yeah.
copyright.
Well, yeah. I was just going to say, I'm sure many people listening right now would be like, you know what? I'm a mompreneur. Hey, my mom's a mompreneur. So
Hmm.
I want to hear someone say it in public. I'm like, you know what? You heard us talk about that on the live, didn't you? Right, a mompreneur. So I like it.
Yeah.
I like it very, very much. Yeah. So tell us some more about Dark Brown and Bright. I've seen your webpage. I've seen the website, and
Okay.
it's a lot of really interesting clothing, and I see the artistic touch, and I know that's you. So tell us a bit more about the thought process behind the items and the artwork.
Okay, so I mean, if I could just start with a little bit more, like not too crazy backstory,
No?
just because I do know you mentioned that if anybody wanted to ask any questions,
Yeah.
I have, I often when you live in this world of creative for as long as I have, you often get like kids thrust on you, or I've mentored for universities and different things. Like anybody wants to ask a question, I have 25 years in advertising and design in Toronto.
Yes.
Even in Trinidad, I was like literally I was a working artist from the time I was 11. I had a business, and that's not made up. I had clients since I was 11. I only know like art for like as a business. I mean, I know it for fun, but I also know it as a business.
Absolutely.
So if anybody has questions around the advertising industry or what it takes, I have 6.5 years in art school. Um, right, so that is my background. So dark brown and bright. Dark brown and bright came about just because, listen, the one thing, if anybody who's on there who's in advertising, that it is not often a career with longevity. It's not a career that most people can
Mm.
retire in. So often when you're in it, as much as you're having a great time and you're being creative, you also know that you may have to pivot or do something else. But it's hard when you're creative and it's all you've ever done. What do you pivot and do? So dark brown and bright came about because they say a business idea often comes out of a need, right? If there's a need and you have a need, maybe somebody else has that need.
Yes.
So I'm going to argue this is a bit of a first world need, so bear with me. But I have always been the kind of person who loves to put on a t-shirt, throw on like something like this, a cardigan, uh, a blazer, and like run out the door. One of my pet peeves, though, is that so many t-shirts have like, you can't go to the office with your big Motley Crue t-shirt, right? You
Yes.
can't go to the right, and particularly me, I have worked in advertising, so I can't go guns a blazing with my Coca-Cola t-shirt and Pepsi's my client.
Right.
So
Of course. Of course. Of course.
so I have to be careful, right? You can't. Not every office wants you in the Nike swoosh. So that was one of my aggravations. Like I'd be looking through, and then you end up in like the white T-shirt with the thing, and I didn't always want the white T-shirt. So one day I know it sounds weird. One day I was doodling and I just came up with this very graphic kind of solid design that was very nondescript. Like it wouldn't offend anybody. It was kind of cool. And I'm like, wait a second. What if I put this on a t-shirt? And what if when you cover it up like this, it looks interesting. And when you show it, it's equally as interesting. Because
Yes.
another thing I didn't like, you get those shirts with like a quote on it,
Yes.
and then you cover up half the quote, and you can read like is and but. So you walk around with a big old but and an is and on your shirt,
Right.
right? So I'm like, I wanted something that read well covered up, something that read well on its own, something that you could wear into the office, and then straight from the office you can hit drinks with friends. And
Nice.
that is how dark brown on bright was born.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Right? So if you look at my designs, they're all very graphic, they're very kind of nondescript, and they all work on their own and they all work covered up. You can wear them anywhere. No
Yeah.
boss is going to go, "Why do you have a pigeon on your chest?" Right? Like nobody's going to say that because they're not going to know what it is. But what it
Exactly.
is, it's still a conversation starter because they're going to look at it and go, "What is that?" Right? Um, and that's okay, because if they don't know and it doesn't bother anybody, then that's great. So I guess I came at it because I thought of the kind of people I know, the environments I've worked in. I
Yes.
was thinking advertising, PR, law firm on a casual Friday, some sort of office environment where you have to be mindful of like what is here.
Yes. Of
Do you know what
course.
I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I
So
love it.
anyway, that's how it was born, and it's literally that simple. Like I said, a bit of a first world problem. Nothing's wrong with a white t-shirt. Not telling you don't wear your white t-shirt, but if you want to elevate it and have a little bit of an edge, check out a dark brown and bright t-shirt.
Oh, I love it. Well, let's check them out right now. As a matter of fact,
Oh,
I wanna bring this up on the screen here, so everyone can have an idea what you're talking about. Let me see. I'm gonna choose this one. Yeah, here we go. Nice.
right. So, oh, that's so cool. I've not been on this split screen with you before. Yeah, so that's really cool. Okay, so what you're seeing here are I launched with 4 designs. I actually have 5 now, and funny enough, I haven't even launched the fifth design, but I put it in for you, Alex.
Yes, thank
So
you.
yes, so it's here for you. So tada, I have 5 now. So
Yeah.
these are the designs. I know it's really small. You probably can't see all the names, but left. I don't know if you're looking at your screen. Left to right, the first design is called Chaud, which is French for cold. The
Is it
second one,
show for hot though?
sorry. Oh my God, what am I saying? Sorry, I'm
Yes.
thinking cold outside. Yes,
Yes, it
Chaud
is
is
cold
hot.
outside. Yes.
All the French Canadians are now slapping me at the back of my head.
You're gonna get.
Um,
Yeah.
the second one, who is actually the model, is my daughter. That
Yes.
is applause, because
Yeah.
I in life we all need a little applause.
Okay, let's
And
get
then
some
the one,
applause one time. There you go.
oh my God, I love that. Okay, so the one in the middle is called contigo, and contigo in Spanish means with you,
Yeah.
which is a term I love. The one with the second to last one, that is Cyclops. Cyclops is the first one I came up with, which is why it's the oddest name. I just thought it was a nice kind of tough design. There's something about Cyclops that's like strong,
I
but
like
it
it.
looks like a smile, and it looks
Yes.
really cool when just the little top is peeking out, and then when you open it up, you see what it is.
I
And
love
then
it.
the last one, Duo, is my new one, which I haven't even launched yet, but which is here.
Oh, dude.
And my it is inspired by my identical twin daughters, and who I called the best surprise of my life. And actually, that is part of the theme of it. And one of the reasons that the circles are switched like that is my
Yes.
twins are what you call mirror image twins. So one is a lefty and one is a
Oh,
righty.
are you serious? No, that is way
Yeah.
cool.
So everything comes from like real inspiration or just an interesting place. So these are the shirts by themselves. Now,
Right.
funny enough, most people, when they create shirts, they mean them to be worn on their own. I'm like, don't wear my shirts on your own if you don't want to. Wear it with your blazer, your jacket, your
Yes.
cardigan. I want you to take these, and I want you to take these and wear them with what's fantastic in your closet.
Right. Well,
So my
I see you
t-shirt
did
is an
some. Yeah.
accessory,
Absolutely. It
right?
is. It is.
So I mean it to accent what you already have. I don't know what is wrong with me today. I feel like the Trinity's overflowing with
No,
Canadian
that's
accent.
okay because up next I wanted to display exactly what you're referring to with you being the model.
Oh God. Okay.
I love it.
So one of the things about being a solopreneur or owning your own small business is that you are put into some unwilling roles. And I don't know if you can see the headline, but I'm called here the unwilling model. I
Yes.
had no intention to model. I'm not that girl. Um, but I am happy behind the camera. But unfortunately, I had to model some of my own stuff. I have to admit, you embrace it, you have some fun. So I had a
Correct.
photo shoot before I launched my business, and I modeled along with I had a few other models, and I had some professional friends come and wear the clothing as a professional would in the office environment. But yes, this is me basically or showing you how to wear it, right?
Yes.
Like wear it with your. I think I have on a faux leather jacket. One
It
is
looks
like a
really
blazer
awesome.
office. The other one is like a longer, nicer jacket. Like you could totally go from that to like a client meeting after.
Yes.
Um, right? Like you could see like the faux leather. You can take that and go straight out to drinks.
Correct. Yeah.
Drinks at the bar with friends. But you could wear that to the office easily. Right. And it's a little bit more interesting. It doesn't look bad with a white t-shirt, but I have to say it does elevate and give something a
It
little bit
does.
different.
It does. I can see that. You know, and each pick is a different style. You know, a different style, a different way to wear it, like you said. And I love the fact that you're the model. even though you may have been the unwilling model, I think you're the perfect model for being a solopreneur. Let me show you what it looks like.
Well, I mean, listen, I actually made samples of these shirts 4 years ago. I only launched the business last year in October. It's literally
Right.
like 3-4 months old.
Okay, so
But
this
I
is
was
in the
actually
pipeline for a
wearing them.
while.
I was wearing them for a while because I literally wanted a shirt that I could just throw on and go. So I made a shirt to throw on and go. And
Yes.
then eventually I'm like, maybe other people would like these. It was that simple, right?
That's how it was born, out of simplicity. And I think
Yeah.
that is the key. That is the key element right there. Yeah. Now, it's not just clothing. You've also got some accessories. I'm going to just put this up so everyone can see the accessories line, or at least you got some bracelets here.
Yeah, it's just, and
This looks nice.
I'm not even sure how much of this I'm going to do. I started again. My inspirations come
I
from
love
my
the
family and
colors.
my background. And
Yes.
my eldest daughter is a huge bracelet person. So when I was making the T-shirts, I'm like, so my tagline for Dark Brown and Bright is design that wears well with others, right? So it wears well with your cardigan, your blazer. So I
Nice.
was like, what else would wear well with something else? And then
Yes.
I'm watching her arm with bead bracelets, and I'm like, So I came up because, by the way, I should have said this. My designs are unisex.
Yes. 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 Of course.
Right? So they're man woman, and so are my bracelets. So what I did, and I actually have it on just to show you, I don't know if you can see this. So I'm wearing Cyclops
Yes.
because Cyclops is my first love. Whoa, where's my hand? Why is this weird?
Yeah.
It's
I think you're gonna. It's moving in the other direction.
Oh yeah, here you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
Right? So
Right.
Cyclops is here,
Yeah.
but I always wear him with other things because I kind of get bored if I wear it just by itself. So I came up with I don't have Duo yet because Duo is brand new, but
Right.
all of the others they exist as a bracelet as well. So you can actually have the t-shirt and the matching bracelet, and then you
Oh,
can
of
stack them or
course.
you can do whatever.
Well, that
And
makes so much sense.
I don't know,
I like
it
that.
was kind of fun. I mean, look, it's not like I saw it anywhere. It's not anything like that. I was just like, it
No,
was in my head, and I'm like, it makes sense to me.
I know. I know you, and I know that's exactly where it came from. Now, we have a couple comments coming in.
Okay.
I'm gonna put them up on the screen here. Right. So Jason Jekyll says, "Interesting concepts. Love it." Thank you very much, Jason. He's
Thank you,
checking us
Jason.
out on Facebook. Yep. Um, and then Karen, who's also my co-host on the radio,
Oh, really?
she's like, I'm gonna put up her comment here. Right, Karen's checking us out on Facebook. I like that it's an accessory.
Yeah. It's I
Absolutely.
mean, the t-shirts essentially are an accessory,
Yes.
as well as the bracelets which are an obvious accessory. But
Correct.
yeah, it's actually really about your wardrobe. When I had the photo shoot and I was shooting my friends who are professionals because I wanted to show professionals wearing it, I
Right.
literally said, bring me your favorite blazer or cardigan
Right.
and throw it on. And I think I sent you some of those photos because I said
Yes.
like, what are you? And if you could, can you put that up and I'll show. Do you know the
Okay.
one
Let
I'm
me see.
talking about?
Let me see if I have that one. I'm seeing a few. Okay, I think it might be this one. Let me check and see.
The one with people, the one with the people you don't know.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
hope it's this one.
Oh.
There
Well,
we go.
no. Oh, that's the photo shoot.
Okay. All right. All right.
We could talk about the photo shoot if you want.
Sure.
But yeah. So at the photo, actually, one of the people is there. There is one that I sent you, Alex.
Okay.
That
Is that
it's
one with
three.
three people, three persons, and one
There's
is your
three
husband, I
people.
think?
Yeah, I think it's one of the last one, and it's three
Okay.
people.
I got it. I got it. I got it.
You got it?
Yep. Here we go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
So I had four different friends, one of which is my husband.
Right.
Four different friends show up, all different jobs, different professionals.
Right.
I have to
That,
admit, I focused more on artsy folk because I just happen to know a lot of them. So I have a lot more friends to pick from. But quite frankly, my friends run the gamut, right? So the next time I do this, I am going to show my friends who love the designs and who are willing, and also I wanted to use it as a way to promote my friends. So at the beginning, unlike my husband who has a a company job, I chose friends who are solopreneurs, because if my brand can help promote your brand, why not? I like to think it's
Good.
a bit of a win-win, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So for example, the guy in the blue, that is my husband David, and he was very willing, and but he was dragged into this, I'm not going to lie. He's an analyst.
He
He
had
is
no
an analyst,
choice. Yes.
and he's a very, very straight laced kind of environment. Like, he works in tech, but very straight laced tech. So I wanted to show, on a meeting or on an interview, this is how he could wear this. He would wear it with a professional blazer, but as you can see, it's not going to bother anybody. It's not going to offend anybody.
Correct.
And like I said, he's he's not totally conservative, but he's an office guy, right? And
Yes.
if you go to my Instagram at Dark Brown and Bright, you'll see more of him in there with like different blazers and how he treats the different designs.
Nice.
The friend in the middle, that is my friend Jordan Clark. And her business, you can actually see her as well. It's called Enarmored. She's on Instagram. She's actually half Caribbean. She's Canadian, but she's
Okay.
actually half Caribbean. Her father was a Bajan. So shout
Oh,
out to the Bajans.
nice.
Um, and she is a jewelry
Barbados.
designer, and
Yes.
we actually went to school together. And so the jewelry she has on, I'm like, throw on your jewelry, throw on your jacket, and throw on my t-shirt, and let's have a photo shoot. So the jewelry is hers,
Okay.
right? And that's how she would wear it. And then the last guy, Jesse is in his cardigan. Jesse's actually an opera singer. He is a working professional
Oh,
opera singer in
yes.
Toronto.
Okay.
He sings with the Toronto Opera Company, which is quite a big deal. I just happen to know him. He's a twin dad. He's a fellow twin dad, and he was very, very gracious to show up and do this photo shoot for me. And literally, he ran from this shoot straight to the opera company for rehearsal because they
Oh
were
my
performing that
gosh.
night.
You really know some interesting people. Even the photographer you were telling me last night that it was a 12-hour shoot. That was the
Yeah.
shoot that you that's the shoot where you were showcasing your line, right?
Well, so these guys were all shot then. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
you could show the clips of the shoot if you want, but yeah. So I was starting this business. I need professional photos. I'm too much of an art director to just whip out my iPhone and shoot everything myself, because I'm too much of a perfectionist that way.
Yeah.
That has its good side, and it also has its bad side.
Correct.
So I called up my friend Michael Cooper, who is, I mean, he's on Instagram too. He's called Cooper Shoots, and I begged
Super
him.
shoots. I love that.
Michael is an amazing Canadian photographer. He's an award-winning photographer. We just happen to have known each other for 25 years. I
Yes.
met him when I was a junior art director at Ogilvy. If anybody is in the business, you know the name Ogilvy, and that's
Oh
where I met
yes.
him. And he came and he said, Simone, whatever you want. And he shot for 12 hours. Like, it was literally madness. So that's him.
Yeah.
That's
That's
him there with
insane.
me. And normally, when I am as an art director, I am always in the back end. I conceptualize what the shoot is. I guide people. I guide him. He and I banter back and forth. No, this shoot was madness. This shoot, I was a model. I was an art director. I think there's a picture of me brushing somebody's hair. I think I gave you like 3 of them. Like, I was fixing hair. I was doing I put makeup on my friend's son, who was a model. Like, that was funny
Great.
while she watched. I was set design. It was a crazy, like, I when I think back, it was like I was styling. There was outfits, there was racks, there was call times, there was a craft table so they could eat, and all of it was, yeah, it was crazy.
Yes. I mean, I'm just thinking. I actually I played a role in a TV commercial over the Christmas season, and we shot for about, let me see, it was for, well, we were there hours before we started shooting, but the entire session, if you want to call it that, it was almost 12 hours. Thinking about it, we got there about 4 in the afternoon, left about 2 or 3 in the morning, so it was nearly 12 hours, but it wasn't 12 hours of shooting. So I know what that's like. and it's not easy, having to be changing wardrobes and doing multiple takes, and this is like video, so it
Yeah.
it was very taxing.
So you did. So I have done TV, but I'm not the actor. I am the
Great.
one behind the scenes.
Yes.
You're the talent. I am the one guiding you and working with the director and guiding you. I'm the one who came up with the TV commercial. Honestly, that is how I'm most comfortable. But the
Yes.
thing about being a solopreneur, and this I would tell to
You
anybody,
have to be
or a
on both
small,
sides of the camera. You have to be in
you
everything because
literally,
it's,
but it's
it's
not just that. You have to do everything and you have to be willing to. And especially nowadays when everything is so digital and everything is so live, people want to see you. People want to see the face
yes,
behind the
that's right.
brand. They listen, you could come up with a granola bar. They want to know who's making it and what is your
Hmm.
story.
Correct.
It's been proven when people get to know you, you just tend to do better, because they can relate to you, maybe they see themselves in you,
Yep.
and it's not easy. Like sometimes I just kind of have to put something on and then go, okay, someone just go for it, and don't worry how you sound or what people might say, or just take a chance. Um, it's
Correct.
it isn't easy. But yeah, it was a 12-hour day, and I think I told you the very next day I flew to Trinidad. So
Yes.
I had an impending trip. So it was like one day and then flew to Trinidad literally. Then I packed the next morning and flew to Trinidad that night.
That is not easy at all. And the thing is that it's your passion. It's your passion that drives you. Your passion that fuels you up. I mean, if you didn't love what you were doing, how would you be able to? Can you imagine that a 12-hour shoot? You work every single day. You're always, behind the scenes doing your thing, putting together these slides. You were doing this yesterday, and I was like, you don't have to do, like present so much, but because of the nature of your job and the professional that you are, you found it necessary to do so, and it shows. So it is your passion, and that's why you're going to be able to move in leaps and bounds, and there's something even better around the corner that's going to be coming your way. I'm telling you.
I mean, I hope so. Listen, I you want to believe the hype. You want to believe that if you put in the time and if you're passionate and you work really hard, that's what everybody tells you, right? If you work really hard and you do the thing, and you put your heart into it, then good things will flow from it.
Yes.
I was raised with that. If any of my Vieira family is watching, I mean, I have two sides. I am a Vieira. Well, I'm a St Aimée. That is my husband's last name, but I am a Vieira, and in Trinidad we say Auguste. For the foreigners, it's Auguste. I
Yes.
am half and half, um, and I'm proud of both. But if any of my Vieira family are following, they know that when you're a Vieira and you're a creative Vieira, you're crazy. We are crazy. Listen, we will go without sleep. We will do the thing. I told you about my cousin bringing the kiddies, man. Like, we are nuts. Like, it just, as a little kid, I would be making mass at my uncle's mass camp. I would be like 10 years old, working till 2 in the morning. And my father's like, go if you want, but you got to get up at like 6 for school. And you just do,
Yeah.
because because that's just what you do. And I wasn't playing mass. I was making mass.
Correct.
And I was happy as anything, like sticking a small bead on a thing all night. Like, what 10-year-old or what 8-year-old enjoys that? Like,
Well, let's talk about that, because I know that
okay.
your uncle was the youngest, or is the youngest,
No,
carnival.
cousin.
It's your cousin. That's your cousin. All right, right. Your uncle was the mass man, and your cousin is the one who was the youngest king, carnival king.
So okay, so my
Did I get
uncle
that right?
Geraldo, God rest his soul, he's
Yeah.
gone now, but
Okay.
he was one of the, I mean, you could Google my uncle Geraldo Vera. He's one of the foremost mass makers in Trinidad's history. He actually was the first to bring, oh please, Geraldo Jr., don't get angry with me, if I think molded plastics or something into Carnival. I don't think anybody else did that before Uncle Gerald. And the
Oh,
reason is
okay.
he owned a plastics factory.
Yes.
So he brought that into Carnival. I'm probably using the wrong words, so don't hate me. But he was a pioneer in Carnival. And my uncle Geraldo, I think, won March Gras, I don't know, 6 times, 9 times, like it's crazy. He didn't bring back. He brought bands when he was very young, but later he brought Kings of Carnival,
Yes.
right? So, but my uncle Geraldo, in the end, was the oldest King of Carnival in Trinidad's history. I think he won in his 70s, and his son Geraldo Vera Jr.
Yes.
Is the youngest king, was the youngest King of Carnival ever crowned at
Right.
Mardi Gras at 9. I think he was 19, and he was in Fatima. Oh
Okay.
wait, aren't you a Fatima boy? No.
Da-
Oh my God, I just saw it! Yay! Big up. Yeah, so Jerry won when he was in Fatima.
yes.
Um,
That's
so
historic.
they still hold those titles.
Look at that, huh?
Um,
I wonder how
and
many
that
people
is,
actually know this.
you know what's funny? So again, I think in Trinidad, when you're not always part of the big band thing, um, what I want to say is a lot of the general public doesn't know you. If you call Geraldo Vera's name in any sort of Trinidad Tourism Commission, Mass, all the big guys like the Wayne Barclays and all those, like the like Peter Minshall. All Peter Minshall would be in my uncle's factory. Listen, all of those guys. I think Wayne Barclay was my uncle's best man.
Okay.
So in those circles, he was amazing. And when he passed away, I flew in and I actually gave his eulogy. It was my first eulogy ever. I was terrified, and the church was standing room only, like people were out the doors. And who was it? Bill Trotman was in the audience dressed as the Midnight Robber
Really?
at his funeral.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
when I was done, like I came out, and you shake hands and you say thank you for coming. Um, there was, I think, the minister of tourism and something was there. Somebody else shook my big. I was like, because they would say, "Hi, nice job. You." I'm like, "Thank you," and you are. And then they would tell me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, thank God I didn't know these people were watching. Otherwise, I would have melted down."
Yeah.
It and his funeral was like hosted by the carnival committee. Like Moko Jumbies walked my uncle to his grave.
That is way cool, man.
Like there was a procession in the streets, and so again, he didn't bring big bands at the later in life. So, but he was
He made his
like a
mark.
carnival enigma.
Yeah, yeah, he certainly made his mark, and he was respected and I guess even revered to some extent. So it shows, and I like that very, very much. And your cousin, who
Yes,
is he's junior, right? That's
yeah. So
Geraldo Junior,
he is Geraldo Jr.
right?
and Geraldo too. Same thing. Has I mean, his whole life has been in creative as well.
Yeah.
He has done a lot of big stage design. Your big crazy fetes that Trinidad has. You know the big stage designs.
Yes.
Jerry, I call him Jerry, but Geraldo has made his a lot of his career in that. He's done a lot of work for ad agencies, and a lot of times we talk on the phone about just the different sides of what we do, but we always commiserate on how same it is. So Jerry also at one point was the designer for, I believe, Trini Revelers when he was quite young. And then, so the band, and then he got out of that. And now he is going back in, and I wanted to help promote him. He's going back in, but he's bringing his first kiddies band.
Yes, now that's what I wanted to talk about. So, I mean, kiddies, I played kiddies carnival a few years, and I've always loved it. I know the children love it very much, and I know that Geraldo is going to bring something amazing. So, is that still something that's happening this year, this carnival,
Oh
or
no,
what?
no, no! Like literally, like he's going to be at Red Cross Carnival. Like his band, I think it's about 80 strong, 5 sections. It's
Yeah,
called his the overarching name is Beltimont, which means, I believe, beautiful children in French patois,
nice.
right? And P.S. My in-laws speak full French patois, so I'm just saying. And I
Still
remember
learning.
like we were like double checking, I think, the spelling with them, right? But yeah, it's called Beltimont is the overarching brand or the name. And he's I think I gave you a slide because I'm trying to remember. It's called
Right. Oh yes.
Party. The name of the presentation for this year for kiddies is Party at the Emperor Valley, I believe.
Oh really? I'm gonna have to double check that.
Yeah. And I should know this because I helped him with the logo.
That's
But
okay. That's okay. Okay, so here it
yeah,
is.
so there it is. Yeah, so it's Party at the Emperor Valley. That is his presentation for this year, and that
Nice.
is his first foray into Kitty's Carnival. And you see the logo for Beltimont at the top. Now
Nice.
he has 5 sections. The only reason I'm showing you 2 is because, one, I knew we were going to have limited time, but I was actually talking to Geraldo last night, and I said, Jerry, if I can, I'd love to mention your band. And I said, can people still sign up? Can they still, And he's
Yes.
like, yeah. And I said, do you have any sections that are sold out or different things? And he said the most there's more room in some of the younger sections
Right.
if people are interested. I think it says at the bottom, I can't see it fully there, but
Okay,
it
I'm
says
gonna
it's
I'm
an,
gonna pull that up full screen. Let me put it up full screen.
yeah, if you could.
Here we go.
Yeah, great. So like in the younger, so there's the 5-year-old section, which is the Bengal Tiger Cubs,
Yeah.
and the girls, the budget singers as well. I know he mentioned to me. So I think he mentioned in the younger groupings there was still some room. To be honest, I am not sure if there is room in the older sections, but
Right.
you can find him on Facebook under Beltimont Kitties Carnival Band. Like they have a Facebook page, and you
Yes.
contact them, and they will send you a
Nice.
form to sign
I
up.
like it.
Or you can see there's the number 758-8757 for those of you in Trinidad, and for
Right.
those of you abroad, don't forget to put the 868.
Yes. Correct.
That is Trinidad's code.
I
So
like
give him a
this.
look. I think his kitties presentation is nothing like I have seen, if in a very long time or if ever.
I like it.
And I am so proud of him. We're all proud of him.
Yeah. So you
All the
designed the
family.
logo as well, right?
So yeah, so the Beltimont logo is his, and
Yeah.
we bantered back and forth, but it is his. And then I helped him with the Party at Emperor Valley Zoo logo,
Right.
because that's kind of what we do. Like I said, we bounce ideas off of each other, and as a family, we help each other. I am not in
Correct.
Carnival, and I cannot do what he does,
I love it.
but if I could help in any way, I always do, and he's always there. I'm always asking him ideas as well. I'm probably, when I come to Trinidad, which I will be coming soon, I'm probably
Yes.
going to run some business stuff past him as well.
Nice. I love it. Well done. And congratulations. Also, best of luck to you, Geraldo Jr. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
love
check
it.
him out. Like, look out if you're watching Kitty's Carnival, and I'm sure you are because you have kids. So look out for him.
I will. I will. I'll look out for the costumes as well because if they look that good, I'm sure he will be, very close to the top of perhaps even winning because it's always stiff competition. But I have a feeling he's gonna do pretty good when the band hits the stage and those kids just come out in their splendor.
I mean,
Yeah.
I really hope so. I would love to see him do well. He has put blood, sweat, and tears and all his passions into this,
Yes.
and
You can see that.
yeah, and like I said, there are 5 sections. I'm pretty sure I only highlighted 2 of the younger ones. Plus, I wanted to make sure that the images were big enough to see on the screen. But
Correct.
you could go and check him out on Facebook,
Nice.
and Instagram.
Awesome. So what are your plans for the weekend? So are you gonna try to try to become fully recovered?
Well, yeah, I'm probably gonna crash a little bit after this.
Yes.
But no, it's actually a long weekend in. Is it only Ontario? It's Ontario and parts of Canada. We
Yes.
actually have a holiday on Monday, and I'm not kidding. It's called Family Day.
Okay. Oh,
And
really?
it was, yeah. It's a. I know it sounds a little weird, but listen, I'll take a holiday where I can get a holiday.
Yeah.
No, basically the Canadian government put it in a few years ago because they were like, it's such a gap between like Christmas or the holidays and like Easter. So they gave a day in February, and they call it Family Day. And I think there's only one province, maybe only the province of Quebec, that doesn't get it. But I
Right.
think the rest of Canada gets it. And trust me, nobody complains.
This is
No.
really inspiring because in Trinidad, as you know, we have lots of public holidays, I think we just have too many public holidays, if I may. Maybe if we want to add one to the list, about Family Day.
Yeah, family day is a good one. I know a lot of people like they kind of poke fun of it. I'm like, why you? It's a day off, people.
Family
And
Day.
if you're working full time, it is a day off with pay. Do
Yeah,
not complain,
yeah.
right? So yeah, so basically it's a long weekend. I have the kids. We're probably gonna watch some bad movies and eat way too much popcorn. And outside of that, no real plans because again, there's a snowstorm happening today and tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot of shoveling. And in between the shoveling is usually swearing.
Right.
Um, 'cause no, nobody shovels willingly.
You see, that's
Um,
another reason that I can't. I just can't. I can't do the
the
winter.
shoveling is like, yeah, but then live in a nice condo. If you live in a nice condo, then there's no shoveling,
Okay. All right.
right? So that's my solution.
At some
But yeah,
point there will be some shoveling, but okay, I got you.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's it. But again, if anybody I don't know if anyone wants to get in touch with me on Instagram at Dark Brown and Bright and you have any questions. Like I know people say this and I know you guys don't know me, but Alex knows me. And often we get into brainstorming just randomly while talking to each other. If
Yes.
anybody has small business questions or uh anything about how to start a brand. I have an Etsy shop, so I don't have my own website right now. I use Etsy, and Etsy is a worldwide platform where creators can sell their wares. If anybody wants any ideas behind that or tips on that, because that's an hour session in itself. How to exist on that platform.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions.
Awesome. I'm gonna actually put up your billboard here. Hold on. Let me just get this. All right. There we go. Dark Brown and Bright. So you can contact Simone at Dark Brown and Bright. She's on Insta, Facebook, and she's got a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, I
Like
actually
that.
have YouTube. I'm working on it. I want to do so much more with YouTube. Listen, everybody always tells me I'm loud, I have a big personality, and big hair, and I figure all those three things. If those are not good for YouTube, I don't know what is.
Yes.
So that will come. But yes, but I am on all those platforms. And again, my store is actually on Etsy, but you can access it through Instagram as well. And again, always happy to chat with people. And I was telling Alex yesterday what a great community. Getting to know. I have always loved small business people, and I heavily support Canadian businesses. And I always promote them there. And but I've made so many more friends now that I am one. And FYI, I want to just toss that out to everybody. Like I said, I promote here. When I am in Trinidad, one of the things, and I'm there often because I have so much of my family and immediate family, I
Yes.
am always looking for local people in Trinidad to support, or like I want to eat your food and I want to buy your stuff. And I have to say, sometimes I struggle with that in Trinidad because so many of the big malls, they don't have small guys. They're more big chains. I am anybody who knows me over there, I'm like, show me the person who makes local bracelets or show me the person who paints a local t-shirt, or I love those things. And
Right.
that's often what I'm looking for when I'm down there.
Okay,
So
great.
if anybody has any tips on
Yes.
that, drop me some names of places I can look because I'm coming home soon.
Awesome. You can put that up right in the comment section as well. Or contact Simone directly. When are you going to be here?
March.
In March. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Um I'm not giving out direct dates live on air, but
What's
I
that?
am probably not a good idea. But I am going to be there for a portion of March. And yeah, uh, I love to muck around sometimes to my mother's dismay because she's like, Simone, just don't get hurt, or because I am the person who will want to go trekking down Charlotte Street because some vendor will have like bead bracelets,
Yes.
right? Like um, so anyway, I like to support if I can.
Awesome. You know what? I thank you for supporting me as well. For this first episode of the Foreign Linkup, and we are going to do this again next week. We're going to have another guest on. This is how we, showcase our Trinis out there, what they're doing, what they're about, what they have been doing, and, in many instances, doing some really, really great stuff like Simone here. Okay, so make sure to check out the page. It's on Facebook, the Foreign Link Up, and you can also, share it around. Give me some love as well. I am Alex Assing, and looking forward to the next one. Simone, have a wonderful weekend. I do hope you bounce right back to 110%, and we'll see you in March.
Okay, see you in March. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Take
Bye.
care, guys.